Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Brooke, and this is where we learn to live life to the fullest through an approach I like to call mainstay living. Today I'll be sharing the journey of how I managed to triple my income in just 1 year by honing 3 specific skills that have changed my life completely forever. I'm actually doing this because I wish I had this information 10 years ago, because I would have even more skills that I'm just now learning that I need in my upcoming stage of life to level up, which I will eventually share with you in time on this channel. So here are the top 3 skills you can learn to triple your income. Let's rewind to 4 years ago. The year is 2020, and I was sitting at a desk during the pandemic. I had just closed my media freelance and consulting company. I was kind of at rock bottom. My father just died. I was in a bad relationship. And as I reflected on my dad's life, it hit me. Was I happy with my life? What would people think of me when I died? Would I be happy with what I've accomplished if I were to continue doing what I'm doing now for another 30 years and die? The answer is no. I wasn't happy, and I didn't feel like my reputation had gone up. If anything, it had gone down. My life was not what I wanted it to be, but what scared me the most wasn't death. It wasn't my current struggles. What scared me the most was being in the same place I was a year ago. So, you know what I did? I completed the anti-human trafficking script that I'd been sitting on for about 3 years, and I hadn't done anything with. I created a fundraising campaign, and we raised over $10,000 to make that film happen. I created a nonprofit called Acting United, Inc. to make the film. Then I worked with a nonprofit called Wellspring Living in Atlanta to make sure we were staying integral to the subject matter that film called for. And I wrote an acting book. I wrote a children's book that was dedicated to my dad. We shot the film, paid the remainder of my school debt with the help of the money that my dad left me, but that is a miracle story for another time. I joined and completed a rigorous 6-month-long church-led recovery program for people looking to turn their lives around from any hard situation into a better one. And I got out of an emotionally abusive and toxic relationship I was in. I got my fitness certification from the National Academy of Sports Medicine, and I made a fitness company online. By this point, I bet you're thinking that was the past 4 years. That was only 6 months after that revelation when my dad died. And I'm giving you this information because I'm making a point that some people give the advice to just get started and just build the company. Build it and they will come, they say. But that's not exactly the case. Or another thing they say is just do what makes you happy, and that'll be your path to riches. So let me save you the 4 years of just doing things, hoping to make money, and give you actionable steps to achieve it. And I think you can tell where the first skill is headed. The first skill is the ability to say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and do it. I think that's what Mel Robbins said. Anyway, the way I experienced it, finding happiness and working on my character was a strong motivator for me. And because of my dad's death being the catalyst, it did make it easier. But I had to take that first step. The year that happened, I learned and finally understood what I needed to make a change and be open with changing my entire life if it meant growing in the right direction. Too many people think that when they die, their reputation or what people think about you is going to be what you think it will be, what you think it'll be. It'll actually be what you did yesterday. And it'll be what they think about you, what everyone around you thinks about you, not what you think, but what they think. Did you spend time with your family yesterday? Did you tell your partner you love them? Did you do what you said you were going to do? The ability to have grit, even if you don't feel the motivation to get better today, is going to be the first step in changing your life and your income. So skipping forward 3 years, I found myself as a fitness trainer in a gym, and I just started making as much as when I had stable income at a desk job. But I still wasn't making my goals, and I was barely able to cover my expenses. I had two roommates. And I had my goals of getting my own apartment, paying off debt, and getting independence in my life, but I couldn't get there because of the lack of money. And I knew I needed to change something, but I had no idea or no clue how to even find out what I was missing. And that's when I had a conversation that changed everything. Really, it was 3 conversations. Those people were actually my brother-in-law, my sister's husband, and my managers at the time, Cameron and Mike. First, I remember visiting my sister and brother-in-law, and I was talking about how because I had a job that was commission-based and relied on me to be there constantly, I didn't have any PTO, didn't have any health benefits, and I was still having trouble increasing my income. And I didn't know what to do. And I felt like I was doing everything. I had a podcast, I had a nonprofit, I was working on a YouTube channel for that nonprofit, I was working on my own YouTube channel, I was in a D&D group, but we were trying to make into a web series. I'd been working on a weekly podcast with my best friend at the time, and all of these things I said could get me money eventually. But I was trying, and I was broke, and I didn't know what to do because I was already doing what I felt was everything that I could do. And my brother-in-law looked at me, and he said, the most important thing I needed to hear. Brooke, it sounds like you're focusing on too much, and you need to focus on what is bringing in the most money, and just do that. And at the time, my initial reaction was like, I can't. But when I let that sink in, that was the truth that I needed to hear. I was getting money here and there from things, but what was making the most money was fitness training at the time. And he was right. And I needed to focus on that, is to be intentional with your time. There's nothing else as important as this, in my opinion. So find what is making money and go after it and double down on it. The second conversation was about why I actually lost a client. So I couldn't figure this out. What was I doing wrong? Camera, the gym manager, my gym manager at the gym I was working at, said it wasn't my lack of knowledge. I knew my stuff, but it was my lack of confidence. The way I was speaking to that client conveyed I did not have the experience to back it up. That is when I realized that how I communicate can make the biggest difference between paying the bills that I was able to pay off and paying my debt too, which would be more than double my income. And I decided to take a step back and evaluate how I was speaking to my clients. And I realized that I possessed certain charisma talents that if I grew self-esteem, it would cultivate. And if I utilized this properly, I could significantly increase my earning potential. So I had to mesh my personality with sounding like the professional and expert that I actually was. So once I focused on enhancing my communication skills, writing my clients' newsletters, sales, or even networking, I knew that I was able to effectively and efficiently convey my ideas, and that would open up countless opportunities. And it truly, truly did. The ability to express your thoughts in a clear manner, that is probably the biggest skill that people who are successful have. And I dedicated time to read, engage in high-level conversations, intelligent conversations, grow my own intelligence, and gradually refining my ability to articulate thoughts clearly and persuasively. And communicating your value is what will give people trust in your expertise. Cultivating those relationships is the secret to financial and personal success. It truly is. My care for people and the way that I convey my conviction of my own value was how I started making a living based solely on commission at the gym, which was something I never in a million years thought I would be able to do. But that one skill made all the difference. The last conversation I had was with Mike. He came into the gym and he was a new leader, to me at least, and he's a great leader. I had the pleasure of working with him at the gym, and he started implementing, or helped me implement changes into my personal systems and processes. And this was the third invaluable skill that I hope you take away from me today. Every meeting with me, he would tap into my personal goals and my daily habits. And I know what you're thinking. Is this just the compound effect book? Yes and no. It's a little deeper than that. He taught me to make a system of proven tactics for my business, how to even find that data. with what I believed about myself. And something I forgot while focusing on my work is that my work is limited by the lies I tell myself. So you really have to dig deep for this one. The data is the outcome. So how many clients you attract, what your current income is, and then you find what's holding you back. You have to find that thing that's holding you back. The thoughts I think about what is possible for me to do and achieve is a glass ceiling. So if you are holding yourself to a limiting belief, you are making your own glass ceiling. And for me, I was really scared. I was scared to believe in myself because I didn't want to feel the pain of letting myself down. I needed to grow my self-esteem and belief, but I needed to change a lot to do that, which did mean changing my friend group. But that's another story for next week's video. So there you have it. There's the 3 skills you need to triple your income in 1 year. If there's one takeaway from my experience, it's this. Never underestimate the power of investing in yourself, whether it's through acquiring new skills, building relationships, or taking calculated risks for your potential growth. That is truly limitless. So if you're feeling stuck, or you're in a rut, or you're feeling unsatisfied with your current income, take a moment to assess your strengths and areas for improvement. With determination and dedication, you can unlock doors to financial success. I truly believe that. Thank you for joining me on this journey. And until next time, I hope you take that step towards your best life and stay mainstay.